Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would show you some updates and a new miner I started working on. Uh, Start with a quick recap here on the Makar ASV. So this did get to the workshop yesterday morning. I did modify the weapon setup on it before I released it again. In the last video, I was asking the question if I should keep the standard turrets or whatnot. And there was, some people wanted those to be on there. A lot of people wanted it to just use like the sentry guns and be cheaper and not need the cobalt and things like that. So what I ended up doing is I kind of looked at the cost of these sentry guns, and they're really dirt cheap. And I was like, wow, how about I just add a whole lot more of those and not put on the regular turrets? And that's what I did. So the numbers came out better this way. So you got 8 sentry guns on the top side, and now it's got 6 sentry guns on the lower side. And you got like one in the middle here, one in the far back area here, and then there's another. There's either side of the creation here, another one over here. So 14 total sentry guns. They only use 5.56 ammo. You can build that even out of a portable constructor. So really easy ammo to build for it, and hopefully that works. I mean, if you're going to spawn it in, you could build some. Already have some ammo built and dump it in the ammo box as soon as you get this thing in game. If a drone attack does come, I'm hoping it can repel the drone attack without really taking any damage. Hopefully, if you do take damage, hopefully not severe from the drones. And then, of course, you've got some lower turrets to shoot at, I don't know, predators or those Talon wanting their seeds back and stuff like that on the ground. So there is that. Anyway, moving on. I started taking a look at some the Plutai. So both of these are out of date right now, and I'm kind of looking at maybe getting these refitted for RE2, and I think that's fairly easily possible to do. Both of them are running too many drills for RE2. RE2, the max laser drill count you can have is 8, and these are both running 12. But this would be a really easy fix if they still drill okay. And basically, to remove the center 4 drills on each of these creations here, and just use the outer ones instead, and then probably upgrade some of the thrusters to the plasma variant versions, and then balance the CPU on it and stuff like that. So I will be digging into these to see how that can work out, and I'm right now thinking that it wouldn't be too bad. I'll have to look at the numbers and see how it all plays out in RE2, but I think both of these could be brought to life again. And then I would have like a RE2 variant on the workshop, even though I think even RE1 does not support 12 drills anymore. I think that went down to like 10. So yeah, even in RE1 these are kind of broken, and I don't think they ever worked in vanilla. Maybe, but I'm not sure. Anyway, moving on. Next thing here, I started a brand new miner, or CV miner. So this is a module, actually. So it's a lot like the Plutus M2, but smaller. And the big thing on this one, what I was really trying to do, is not make it look like a module. Have it, it still needs all the module specifications, like where you have a front entry door is, where the landing gear are, and where the pilot seat is. But beyond that, I was just trying to make it look like a regular old ship, and not so much like a module. And I ended up with this kind of funky design here. And obviously the big part about this one is I had to have landing gear specifically in this location, and the hull didn't even go there. So, I mean, I didn't have anything to just mount the landing gear into there, so I ended up building this setup here, incorporating a couple guns with it, and trying to make it look like it's all part of a big gun mechanism instead of a weird, oddly placed landing gear that's sitting there. Now, this does park on the ground as well. I've got a little problem right now. I had ramps attached to the bottom parts of these doors here that would come down. The problem is that they came out one block too far. Would disrupt the turret from shooting downward, and also disrupts it from docking in a module bay because it goes one block too wide then. So I'm going to have to modify how this area over here to probably recess the doors in another block and probably try to change some blocks around in that area. But right now, what I have in this, obviously it's completely unfinished, but I'm planning on putting in one big advanced generator in it. It's running all of the plasma type variants of the thrusters. The specs for store or harvest bays would be probably 2 320s. I did want it to contain a shield and a warp drive, and then beyond that, potentially additional shield part locations. Maybe even the small shield parts. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cram medium ones in here or not. But yeah, so basically 2 320s, probably either a ammo storage controller of a smaller type or a couple ammo boxes, warp drive, shield, and shield parts is kind of what I'm angling at with this one here. Let me go park it. I got this. Don't ask me why this ship is crooked like that right now. It fell and I ran out of fuel and I didn't fix it, so that's kind of what's going on there. I'm just going to come in here. I'm not even trying to be too crazy with my docking here. In fact, I'm kind of sucking here at the docking. Did it dock? I think it docked, right? Yeah, it docked. Okay. Anyway, let's get out. I'll show you how this hooks up. So you can see where these landing gear kind of come out at, and and everything else works out. The door on the inside here will go right into the module. So yeah, it works like any other module. It's a little shorter on the back side too, so it actually kind of like in this creation here, it kind of lines up to the back here now, but it'll still work totally fine in any other Helios module bay. It's just a little bit shorter of a ship than so it doesn't go to the full back of the module area, at least on this ship. This one has a smaller deck on it. The actual full-blown Helios, the deck would come out of 3 or 4 blocks further than this. Another qualification of this, it did need to have a very flat top on it, and I had to kind of make sure if I wanted turrets, they gotta be down 1 block from the top of the ship. And then of course, any CV miner, I absolutely want a long-range radar on. I know there is the new type of radar array as well. Those I haven't played with yet, and they're big. And like a build like this, I have no idea how I could possibly put one of those on here. But I will have to check that out. It sounds, you know, if you're out asteroid mining and you don't have a long-range radar, it really sucks because it's hard to see where the asteroids are. You got to fly around, waste all kinds of time doing that, looking for asteroids. If you got a longer range radar, it just makes it a whole lot better. That other piece, that radar array, the 5x5 by whatever size parts those are, would probably, I believe, from what I hear, work better yet. But man, they're big and bulky to put on a creation like this. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So anyway, work continues on this one. So I will try to get this worked out. And first thing I want to do is finish up the body and try to get all the other little things going, and then start to add the storage and part placements, and then more texturing. Yay! Okay, so and another question that was brought up too is if I'm gonna get this Scarab-SMX out to the workshop. Yeah, I really should. It's like done. It's been done. I probably should have released it like a week ago. I sort of wasn't thinking about it. Well, I will try to get this out in the near future. I don't like to have too many creations on the workshop, new releases at once. I have the Makar right now out there. So this one, I might wait a few days or something like that and then try to get this out, hopefully next. But it also might be this miner next too, depending on how, you know, if it's ready by probably like Sunday of this week, which it probably will be ready because I'm fairly motivated on getting it done. And that is one thing too. I was asking a question, you know, like first, am I going to use this in a playthrough in Reforge 2? And the answer is yes. I am very much planning on using this ship. Then I was asked, like, well, what type of module are you going to run with it? And basically, since this already has decent production capabilities in it and farming, I basically was like, well, I'd probably like a miner. I think a module miner. And the only one I had is the M2, and the M2 is not working right now. And it's really, really expensive too. I mean, for a miner, I love it, but it costs a fortune for this thing. And I'm trying to build this one just generally cheaper, so it'll be easier to get in game, but still operate a lot like the M2, and have its production capabilities. It'd be kind of like a module version of the M1, basically, is what this one is. So I like the idea of a module too, because that'd be like a great location to put the thing. And then, beyond that, probably my next larger project for gameplay use would be, I think I want to touch on a combat CV again. Some kind of new fighter combat CV that, I don't know, how high end it's going to be or how expandable it's going to be. I don't know yet. I'm kind of trying to work out exactly what specs I would want on a combat CV that's capable of doing good combat, but it doesn't need a lot of other functions. Like it's not going to have a farm. It'll probably have a little bit of production to build ammo, but probably no more than 2 constructors or something like that in it. And it doesn't need a lot of interior space. The big thing I'm debating on is whether it should have some kind of hangar in it or not, or at least a small hangar for like some kind of miner that you're bringing along with you, which is also practical. If you're running around blowing up enemy targets with a CV, and you can bring along a miner with you, that can serve. You might come across that gold asteroid or something you're looking for when you're out like shooting up stuff, and it's really nice to be able to get it at the same time. Just like, oh, I want that asteroid real quick. Let's go snag it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. But of course, I wouldn't want it necessarily to dock a big one like this, or do I? I don't know. That's a future project. I guess one thing at a time. But that is pretty much all I had for today to talk about. I just kind of wanted to go over the Makar, talk about the miners over here, and show you the new work in progress module CV miner that I'm trying here, and we'll see how it turns out. Again, right now it's early, and a lot of things could change on this. Probably will change on this. It's just my biggest goal on the art standpoint is, can you make a module not look like a module, but work like a module? And that's kind of the experiment here with me on this one. All the modules I've made, and there hasn't been that many that I actually made, but all of them that I made so far are rectangles, and I'm trying to go and do something different with this one, for better or worse. I'm not saying this is going to be more efficient or anything like that. It's just, when you see it flying around, you might not think, oh, that's a module. You might just think it's a regular old spaceship. It can be used as a regular old spaceship too. So there you go. Anyway, you all have yourself a great day, and I will talk to you later.